to the Daily Fantasy Aid Show. I'm Andrew, your host. Let's get right into it. Obviously, we got Jake Arrieta going tomorrow, and I gotta be honest, I had a horrible time finding a lineup I felt happy with that had him in there. Even now, I kind of feel like it's a hodgepodge mesh of people, but you'll see later on who I've got to pair with Arrieta. Now in the mid-range, we've got Aaron Sanchez and Aaron Nola. We got Aaron and Aaron there. Sanchez is a little cheaper, but I do like Nola more against the Braves. Sanchez is facing the Twins. And then if you want to go really cheap, Tyler Duffy is a high risk, high reward. The Jays offense has been hit or miss. You never know what you're going to get. I mean, you could get a big hit and get so many negative points, or he could have a good game. Obviously, he's facing Aaron Sanchez, who's one of my mid pitchers, so he might not get the win there, but he's cheap. Whistler facing a bad Phillies offense, and he usually goes deeper into games, but he doesn't strike people out. So let's see what catchers we have. Brian McCann is 2 for 8 with a home run off grade this year, who is not himself at all. Salvador Perez and JT Realmuto are both 2,900. Perez has a really huge sample size against Quintana. He's 17 for 45 with a 1,041 OPS against Quintana. That includes 2 home runs. Realmuto is 6 for 13 off Roark, and I want to talk about that a little bit. Not so much Realmuto, but the Marlins as a whole are batting. Everyone on their active team combined is batting 321 against Roark. And I don't know what to make of that. I feel like they would be a good stack, but Roark seems to be a different kind of pitcher this year. So that's kind of my conundrum. I do think they're a good stack. If you want to think about some other stacks, you got Boston. A couple guys have good numbers against Kluber. And then the Cardinals, who have hit the Arizona pitcher. His name's escaping my mind. I'll remember it in a second, but they've hit well off him. If you need a really cheap catcher, Russell Martin's 2,100, but not my favorite guy to play. First baseman, you get David Ortiz, who's 4 for 14 with 2 home runs off Kluber. That's one of the guys I was mentioning. Lucas Duda is 3,000. He's 3 for 8 off Willie Peralta. And the Mets, some of them have hit Willie Peralta pretty well. I just feel like their offense has been struggling a lot lately, so I don't really know if they are a good stack, And then Carlos Santana, 2 home runs yesterday and today, technically, because I'm recording this today. And he has hit 429 with a home run off Buchholz. That's misspelled. There we go. Did I spell it? Yeah, well, I have it spelled right in a different thing. Alright, second baseman, Jason Kipnis there's the right spelling. He's 3 for 5 off of Buchholz with a home run. Daniel Murphy is a good player. Washington could be a good stock against Nick Liano. They had a good offense against Matt Harvey. Neil Walker's 4 for 14 with a home run off Willie Peralta from Milwaukee. And then a more expensive option, Ben Zobrist is 5 for 19 with 2 bombs off PV. Cubs don't actually have good numbers against PV, but I still feel like they could be a good stack. I'll bet a pretty expensive one. Josh Donaldson's only 3,700. He's only batted once against Duffy and homered off him in that bat. He's really cheap at 3,700. But again, if you're starting Duffy, I don't think you're really going to want to start Donaldson. Travis Shaw's 4 for 8 with a home run off Kluber. And then Martin Prado, again, I was talking about this Roark thing. He's 9 for 18 off Roark. A lot of Marlins have good numbers against him. But Roark is a different pitcher. It's a tough question, but I do feel comfortable stacking the Marlins. Shortstops. Manny Machado's 3 for 7 off Hector Santiago, and he's down to 3,700. I feel like that's a great bargain for him. Aledmus Diaz homered off Patrick Corbin, is who I was thinking of. Last time he faced him, the Cardinals would definitely be a good stack against Aledmus Diaz. Try to get Biscotti in any lineup you can. I'll talk about him a little bit later. Javier Baez is a good cheap option against PV if he plays. You always got to make sure your players are playing. And then Carlos Correa, a really expensive option, but he's 4 for 9 with 2 home runs off Colby Lewis. So then we go to outfielders, which is really tough picks. Mookie Betts is 2 for 6 with a home run off Kluber if you want to go with Boston. Next 3 guys, all of them Marlins outfielders, all good options. Ozuna is batting 7 for 23, while Yelich is 6 for 22 with a home run off of Roark. Stanton's batting 250 with 2 home runs off Roark, and he's really cheap now at 3,700 because he's been struggling. Stephen Piscotty was 3 for 5 with a home run off Corbin, and he's batting 400 against lefties this year. Get Stephen Piscotty in your lineup. Then Adam Jones, 3,200, 4 for 10 off San Diego with a home run. I actually had to go with Jorge Soler as one of my outfielders in my Arrieta lineup. I hope he plays because one of my other options is Suzuki, but he's not going to play because you see the numbers that these 3 Marlin outfielders have against Roark. So I went with 3 lineups today. You can see the Arrieta lineup. I have Salvador Perez across the board with them because he's got such great numbers and he's a good price at 2,900. Then I went with Carlos Santana, Neil Walker, Martin Prado, Javier Baez, Piscotty, Jones, and Soler. Please, Madden, play Soler. Steven Piscotty is my other player that I have across the board with everyone. So I have Aaron Nola going too. He's a really good against Atlanta. I feel like that's great value. Obviously Perez. I do have Santana going with them too. Dietrich had good numbers. Again, that Marlins against Roark. Prado, heard you're batting 500. Machado was cheap. Obviously Piscotty. I worked Stanton into there. And then Nomar Mazar to round that out. And then the Tyler Duffy lineup. And just a shot in the dark kind of dartboard kind of lineup. I really like the lineup, but you don't know how Duffy would do. First change is I've got Ortiz at first, Zobrist at second, Shaw at third, Baez at shortstop, Ozuna, Piscotty, Stanton to round out the outfield. So this is my first time I'm going with 3 lineups. I felt like there was a lot to talk about today in regards to DFS. A lot of knowledge, a lot of pictures, a lot of choices. I hope I've cleared up some of the choices for you, giving you some ideas for your lineup. So it's the 20th. Good luck out there. Hoping at least one winner out of those lineups tonight.